Okay, so on this question, we have two equal fractions. So let me put in the wall whenever we have that. I like to put in the wall of separation for the equal sign. So we have rationals with an equal sign. So what do you do when you have rationals with an equal sign? Step number one, you multiply all the terms left and right by the LCD over 1. Let's put it over here. By the LCD over, and what is the LCD? Well, the LCD equals 1 of every denominator item. 1 of every denominator item multiplied together. So as you look here, you go, okay, we got an M, and then we got an M minus 6 package. Remember, pluses and minuses glue things together like shopping at Costco? This is an M minus 6 package, which is different than a solo M. So you need one of each of those. In other words, don't do this. Don't go, oh, we got an M, and so I don't need this other M. No, you do, because this other M is not solo. He's an M minus 6 package. So that's different. Does that make sense? Now, if this was 6M, 6 times M instead of M minus 6, then I would say, oh, we just need M and we just need 6. We don't need that other M because that other M would be solo. He wouldn't be glued to the 6 if it was times. Remember that rule? That's a very important rule. Adding and subtracting glues things together like shopping at Costco makes them a package deal. And so that matters, right? If it was 6 times M, I would just take the 6 and the M and that'd be all I would need. I wouldn't need the other M because I already got a solo M. That would be a solo M, an M on his own. But when you have M and M minus 6, you need them both because the M minus 6 is a package, which is different than a solo M. Okay. So use the package. So what am I going to multiply by? M minus 6. M minus 6, right? Over 1 if you want. The point is it's in the top. Okay. And so then what's step number 2? Cross cancel all denominators and multiply the leftovers. So you cross cancel. So M cancels M. What's left over? The M minus 6 and the M plus 6 equals, and the M minus 6 cancels M minus 6. And what's left over? 35 and M. This is just a 1 here. I hope this doesn't confuse you. But the 1s don't do anything. You don't really need them there. Does that make sense what happened there? I cross-canceled all the denominators. See how all the denominators, gonzo. There's no more fractions. That's what's nice about this. It gets rid of the fractions. And then you multiply what's left over in the tops. And so now I need to actually multiply this. I'm going to go boom, boom. So what are we going to get here? Get a little more room. M squared plus 6M, and then boom, boom. Minus 6M minus 36 equals 35M. Just making sense. See that? And then these guys are going to cancel, and we get M squared minus 36 equals 35M. Now what? Well, we go into a whole new mode now. Now we say, oh, okay. Step 3. When you have x squared or m squared or whatever with an equal sign, we go into a whole new thing. What do you do with that? Part A, you have to get a 0 on one side. been a while, been a chapter or two since we've done this. We have done it before. So when all of a sudden we have x squared or m squared or whatever with an equal sign, we go into a whole new mode. When you have x squared with an equal sign, step one, you got to get a 0 on one side. So I got to get a 0. So I got to go minus 35my, because I want to make that 0 over there. Whatever you do to one side, you have no choice but to do the same thing to the other. Like that. Boom, boom. See how that makes a 0? What do we have over here? M squared. Put that minus 35m in the middle so you keep the order. What do I mean the order? Highest power to lowest. See how it's m squared, m, no m? Highest power to lowest. Do the same thing to both sides. All right. And then part B. Factor. You know, like with the 2 parentheses equals 0. Remember that kind of thing? So I'm going to come in here and go, okay, 2 parentheses. What multiplies has multiplies. Okay, so what's going to multiply? Well, m times m multiplies to be m squared. What multiplies to be 36? Well, a lot of things. 6 times 6, 3 times 12, 4 times 9. But how can we get them to add? Which one of those will add? You know, let me write it up here. What multiplies to be 36? Well, 6 times 6 is 36. 4 times 9 is 36. 2, you can use your calculator. 2 times 18 is 36, right? 3 times 12 is 36. And 1 times 36 is 36. Which of those has the ability to add to be minus 35? This pair. So you have to use your calculator and find a bunch of different options that can multiply to be 36 and grab the one that can add to be minus 35. So I need 36 and 1. Doesn't matter what order, but it does matter what sign. Remember how it works? Sign in the middle always goes to which one? The bigger. Right? Or just think about, you know, gaining weight and losing weight. If you lose 36 pounds and you gain back 1 pound, you lost 35 pounds, didn't you? That makes sense. Sign in the middle always goes on the bigger. All right, now what? This problem's getting difficult. Now, last one. Each part equals 0 and solve. So in other words, I'm going to take the m minus 36 equal to 0 on its own, or the m plus 1 equal to 0 on its own, and then just solve both those. Oh, by the way, why can I do that? Well, because you know the logic, right? If, let me finish this up first off. Boom, boom, and boom, boom. Oops, boom, boom. So I'm getting m equals 36 or m equals negative. So why can we go from 1 equals 0 to 2 separate equal zeros? Well, because if 2 things multiply to be 0, either one of them could be 0, right? If I told you, hey, I'm thinking of 2 numbers and they're timesing to be 0, what does that mean? First one could be 0 or the second. Either way, anything times 0 is 0. The first one could be 0 or the second. Solve them both. So we got 2 answers, but hold on. What is m? Oh, yeah, no, they're both good. They're both valid answers, 36 and -1. So you just come on up here and you put in 36, comma, -1. You can put the -1 first and then the 36. The order doesn't matter. Just put a comma between them. 2 possible answers. And so there we go.